welcome, Srushti Demo. Slowly walked up to the podium in front of 600 students. When I reached the stage, I opened two neatly folded papers of Egyptian mythology. Dear Toastmasters and guests, it was a golden stormy July morning, way back in the year 2005. I looked up at the clouds. It was dark, scary, and so menacing they didn't even let the sun come out. I then looked at my audience. They were no different from the clouds. Finally, I looked down at my paper and began reading, word by word. As I sailed through my second paragraph, I realized I hadn't read. With nervousness towering up inside me, I slowly turned to the second page. Well, guess what? There was no second page. 600 people were sitting there. 600 people. 600 eyes were staring at me. 600 pairs of ears were waiting for me to finish that silly presentation on Egyptian mummies and go away. But I just stood there. Standing there for 1 full minute, like leaving South Africa, I stalked out of the podium and into the toilet, where I hid for 20 minutes. Well, Toastmasters and guests, that was the first time I faced the fear of public speaking. Well, many of you think, and many people say, that death is the #1 fear in the world. Wrong. Just like India is the 7th largest country, the fear of death is the 7th position. The #1 fear is nothing other than coming here, standing in front of a group of people and speaking. In short, the fear of public speaking. Now you can compare the fear of public speaking to tying your shoes. You remember when you were a small kid and you learned how to tie your shoes? You tied them, you stood up, you stumbled like Charlie Chaplin, and then you fell hard on the ground. Well, maybe you cried a lot, but then you tied your shoes again and again until you felt confident to walk. It also public speaking. Everyone, that everybody falls the first time. You can even compare this to an air crash. Now, if the pilot calls you and says, land the plane right now, I'll bet you will crash. But at least, if you crash at public speaking once or twice, it won't be as fatal as an air crash. After my public speaking fiasco more than 3 years ago, I hid from my friends 3 weeks. You know why? Friends are the cruelty team in the animal kingdom. They tell you the truth. I was more afraid to stand in front of the lectern than about learning how to speak at lectern. My great realization finally came 2 years ago when I realized that millions of years from now, when the sun becomes a black hole and eats up planet Earth, that little incident that happened to me one July morning is not so important to human revolution. That was when I took the first step to be afraid and speak anyway. Some of the most famous speakers and athletes admit having stage fear. I feel fear to admit our fear. Well, you know the symptoms. Your heart swims faster than life itself. There's a snake dancing in your stomach and a frog stuck in your throat. Believe me, it's completely normal and natural. In fact, Mark Twain said it best. He said there are only 2 kinds of speakers on this planet. Those who are nervous and those who are liars. A recent research shows that 85% of this fear can be gone. You can rectify this fear by practice, persistence, and patience. What's more is that 10% more can be actually rectified with strong breathing exercises. So what about the remaining 5%? Well, that's up to us. Our assertive, attractive attitude. One way I can calm down is to imagine yourself speak. Imagine that you're walking towards the lectern with a big smile plastered on your face. Be confident. Imagine this audience smiling back at you. Smile, smile, smile. Because a smile is a term that can tell a lot of things straight. And more importantly, great. If you don't pray before you speak, you might start praying when you speak. This will seem too small, but it can be what makes or breaks your performance. When you're here, speak as if your tongue is delivering the message of your heart. We, as postmasters, tune our tongue to the frequency of our heart. And what gets us going is the people who give a loud applause, and that makes our heart smile. Well, friends, there's no real magic trick to public speaking. There's only one thing. It's confidence. And I bet you, all of us here are confident.